Hey everyone, welcome back to the SunnySide. I'm Sunny, and this video right here is all about people who have their south node in Aquarius and their north node in Leo. Once again, south node in Aquarius, north node in Leo. Everybody cool? Welcome back to the SunnySide, everybody. Once again, I'm Sunny, and I hope everyone is having a super amazing day. For those who don't know, I'm a professional astrologer. I do write horoscopes for some of the newspapers up here in Canada, and if you'd like a personal reading, just check it out in the description box below. Now, for those who are new to the channel, just let you know that what I'm going to do today, and for all of the education videos that we have, and there are a whole bunch of Venus sign, Mars signs, moon sign kind of stuff, videos on the channel. You can check it all out if you want. I have a whole bunch of writings from different astrologers or astrological writers, and I'm going to read you their interpretations, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. In addition, I'll tell you at the beginning here what I think of the south node in Aquarius and the north node in Leo, and we'll take it from there. All right, and that's the action. That's the action. Again, if you want a personal reading, check it out in the description box below. Before we begin, please share the video. Please, please, please share the videos on the channel. It's the only way we can honestly grow the channel, and I appreciate all of the support. In addition to that, this channel is supported by the astroside.com. And this is where you go to get all your cool SunnySide hoodies and t-shirts. This 2.0 is for the kids. And then they come in different colors, of course. And the leggings and socks, if you wear socks. SunnySide mugs. You know, our slogan here on the SunnySide is together, it's a beautiful day. And it's on all this stuff. I really like this t-shirt, actually. I have one. It's right there. And so, but I don't wear it on the... I don't wear it too often because my t-shirt is green, and you shouldn't wear green on on screen. All right, so here we go. Anyways, lots of different stuff. Obviously, there are different cups, different mugs, t-shirts. This is the Leo one. All right, and there are obviously some real, some awesome stuff, some really cool stuff here. So that's the astroside.com. All right, let's get back to it. So, what are the nodes? All right, anyways, if you want to support the channel, please do that. In addition, we obviously have tons of workshops on the channel here, and both astrology and tarot, and there are always some specials going on. Just check it out in the description box below. So what are the nodes? I don't know what that's, Sonny. I gotta blow my nodes. Oh, Sonny, I gotta blow my nodes. Oh. Nope, that's not it. Oh my God. So here we go. So here are the nodes. Imagine, this is what it is. It's the moon's nodes. And imagine this guy is the earth, and I'm the sun, and the earth is revolving around the sun like this. Hey, Sonny, are we going to get time to go down to the watering hole? I want to talk to the crocodile. Okay, wait. So, later. All right. So this is this earth revolving around the sun like this. This is the moon, and this is the earth's plane right here. This is the orbit. Like this. It could be like this, right? If it was like this, this would be the orbit like this. But it's like this today. This is the moon revolving around the earth like this. So it's where the moon's orbit around the earth intersects with the earth's orbit around the sun. Those are the nodes. So if the earth is going like this, and the moon's like this, that would be the nodes right there. Everybody cool? It's where the moon's orbit around the earth intersects the earth's orbit around the sun. It's not really that deep, man. So, all right, let's see what's going on. And okay, so that's what it is if you look in the sky. But you guys should, know that astrology is not astronomy. It's a different kind of thing. It's a different word. I don't know how you fucked that up. Okay, and so this is what it looks like on a chart. So down, hey, okay, down here, that's the, are we still going? Was that a technical difficulty? Okay. Down here, this is the north node down here. See, that's Leo right here. That's the north node. And it looks like this. It looks like a little N. And on the opposite side, we have the south node. And the south node looks like a little cup. Or now, when you put them together, imagine that this is the earth here. So, and these are the nodes. The north node indicates the Earth, the moon's orbit that way, and then the south node is like that. Everybody got that? Not really a big deal. So that's how you recognize. So south node is the U, and the north node is the N. Now what does it mean? Wherever the south node is in your chart, that's where you have too much of that energy. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the negative side. It's the negative side. South node is bad. Okay, so to make it really simple for you guys, so there's more to it than this, but south node bad, north node sometimes bad, sometimes yeah, it all depends on what's happening. Now other people say, but the south node is really, they say it's ruled by Saturn and it's bad. Some astrologers or some people believe that it's what's happened to you. It's the things that have happened to you in a past life. It might be your past life karma that you bring into this life. So you might have spent, so in Aquarius has to deal with humanity, people as a whole. It's the water bearer. It's bringing humanity to the world. It's a different way of looking at things. It's very eccentric. It can be eccentric. It can be outside of the box. It's standoff, looking at everybody. It's a very we kind of thing. Let's look at the problem. Let's bring everybody along. Aquarians, hey, let's check it out. Very, hey man, what's going on? How you doing today? Kind of sign. And so it means in a past life or something that happened to you as a child, as you bring it into this life, as you mature, your experiences or just what your attitude as it forms and develops, has an overabundance of this Aquarian attitude. Now, some Aquarius is good. It's good to be aloof. It's good to be humanitarian. Hey man, let's go do this together. But at the same time, it's good to be objective. It's good to stand back and check things out and observe the world. It's good to think outside of the box. But when you do that too much, too much, right? The south node is too much. When you have too much of this Aquarian energy going on, you're like, there's a tendency to not do things for yourself, to not take care of yourself. It's too much. Okay, what do you want to do? Okay, what do you want to do? Let's do it. Let's go together. Let's go together. I'm not doing it on my own. I don't want to do anything. It's too much. Let's look at the other people. Let's do that. Or it's also too much. It can be very stubborn. Oh, nope, if they're not going, I'm not going, fuck it, all of those assholes hate this bitch, I hate this bitch too, an inability to form your own opinions. You can be like, oh, that's what's going on, I hate all those fuckers, these assholes hate all those fuckers, I'm going to hate all those fuckers too. And that's what happens when there's too much Aquarius energy. When there's a good Aquarius energy, you're very objective. Why you guys hate all these motherfuckers? Like, come on, be cool. It's for everybody, let's love the world together. Aquarius is a very loving sign, right? And so that's the deal. It can also be very aloof and very cold. Too much Aquarian energy is very cold. Nope, fuck it. I'm not doing that shit. Fuck you. All right? Yeah, they're also extremely rebellious. I'm doing it my own way. I don't care. I'm doing it my own way. I don't care. Forget it. No, blinders on. I don't care about your rules. I don't care about your society. I don't care about your laws. Your laws are stupid. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. I'm doing my own shit. I want my motorcycle. I want my leather jacket. Fuck you. And so, that's what happens when there's too much Aquarius energy. And it becomes very outside of the box thinking, very revolutionary, outside of the box, eccentric. Nope, I don't give a shit. Fuck it. This is me. I don't care. And so that's what happens. And we balance that. So it's negative in a bunch of ways, right? It's got the negative, I don't give you the Aquarius, I don't give a shit about it, and but at the same time, it's everybody together. As opposed to the Leo thing, and there's something I want you to keep in mind as we go through this video here. These guys are going to talk about the negative side of Aquarius, and they're going to juxtapose it with the positive side of Leo. Now, it's easy to say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, this guy is an asshole. And then they're going to say, oh, but that guy is really good. You should be more like this. The truth of the matter is, you have both of these in your chart at the same time. So if and only if you have an overabundance or too much, an overflow of, energy going on in the south node, that's what's going to be the problem. But at the same time, you can, if you can, or through transit, or whatever, you can also balance that with a lot of the good stuff in Leo. You have both of this in your chart at the same time, and that's the most important thing to remember, because these guys are going to be pretty harsh on Aquarius here. Okay, so these guys are going to be pretty harsh on Aquarius. Just remember that you have both of these in your chart at the same time. Now, where this goes down, when you have problems here, that's going to drag this down. That's the way to do it. Some people say your goal in this lifetime is to have, is to move from the south node, all this too much Aquarian energy, towards the north node. And that's the goal in life. But I'm saying, once again, if you have too much of the south node going on, if there's too much, then, and that's what's happening around us right now. Actually, there's too much emphasis on the south. For the last couple of years, a lot of planets have been transiting the south node in the sky, and it's causing a lot of problems with the north node. That's a different video. In the sky right now, everything is in Capricorn is getting the south nodes in Capricorn is getting highly negatively affected. Big business, corporate restructuring, political restructuring. There's a lot of stuff in the north node about setting up boundaries, being very stubborn, and as a result, it's also bringing down the south node, which is in Cancer, which is home. So in the world right now, we have people putting up borders, people being very stubborn, very, political structures being very stubborn in a worldly way, people and institutions being very stubborn in a worldly way, being very dogmatic, using their, their very Capricorn fuck you kind of thing going on here. But as a result, home is starting to suffer. The north node in Capricorn is suffering. We see people, instead of fighting enemies in the world, it's getting backwards. They're befriending enemies in the world, or they're sucking up to their natural enemies, and they're fighting themselves. They're fighting their neighbors, right? That's what's, instead of loving your neighbors, which is the north node in Cancer, they're fighting their neighbors, which is, the nodal imbalance. And in this situation, that's how the energy works. So if you have a problem here, there's too much of that, or if it's negative there, it's going to cause a major problem here. They go together, and then that's the deal. But if you can balance this out, if you have a nice healthy balance in your south node, and you use the lessons of humanity, it's Aquarius, right? If you use the lessons in, hey, let's give some of those guys attention too. Let's pay attention to the team. Let's cross this finish line together. I'll wait for you, why not? And then your Leo north node is going to really prosper as well. You're going to be, hey man, yeah, and everybody's, so if you're really good at something, and you're hanging out with the group, and the group is going to recognize you, and Leo's going to shine. Seriously, it's like that. So you're going to shine in Leo. If you are negative with the group, no one's going to see you shine, which is what the deal is. So north node good, south node good. South node bad, north node bad. And that's how it works. All right, hope that helps. So when you're looking at your own charts, that's what you keep in mind. Wherever you find the south node in your chart, that's where you're going to have too much energy, and too much of that, and it's not too much of it makes it a negative situation, and as a result, that part's going to suffer as well. All right, If you have any questions, you want me to look at your chart, check it out in the description box below. All right. So the dragon's head in Leo. The north node is known as the dragon's head. The north, or the dragon's head, or the north node in Leo, right? North node good, helps the native to realize his desires, which are of a lofty nature. Obviously, Leo. Leos shine. Leos are pretty good. He has a fine ambition, and even if he's not an artist, he's nonetheless a person of good taste, a lover of form and of everything that's fine and noble. His imagination should enable him to discover or invent new, pleasing, and attractive things which will profit him. Now, imagination or thinking outside of the box, and that tends to be an Aquarius thing. So but a Leo is a creative sign, right? The 5th house is creativity. So if we have good Leo, then you're going to have good Aquarius. So once again, his imagination should enable him to discover or invent, which is Aquarius, new and pleasing and attractive things. His inquiring mind, right, is Aquarius. Remember, they have them both at the same time. His inquiring mind makes him continually desire to know and learn everything new. This helps him to progress. The dragon's head in Leo enables the native to conquer the difficulties of life. The dragon's tail in Aquarius, the south node in Aquarius, causes the native to be easily deceived, right? If you're always giving into the group, listening too much giving into the group can fuck you over, so watch out for it. He's inclined to be, he does not react nor know how to act wisely, and this is detrimental to him. People should be kind, but they should know how to discriminate, and this is not the case with the dragon's tail or the south node in Aquarius, as the native is too much inclined to listen to the fine words of others. He's easily influenced by the praise of others. Be careful of that. This position also indicates deceit over love matters. It is a sign of infidelity on the part of the native or on his partner. It also upsets either the mental or physical balance, right? So there are a couple of signs of infidelity using the nodes. A south node in Aquarius is one of them. South node in Cancer is one of them. South node in Pisces is one of them. They're all fucking loosen the zipper, motherfuckers. Okay. So anyways, Isabel Hickey says, the north node in Leo gives executive ability and qualities of leadership. Nice. Leos are born leaders. Needs to be independent to do a good job. Has nobility and pride. The virtue hidden in pride is self-respect. To this, Leo has the right. If self-respect, Leo has the right of all of that stuff. Leos also dress nice and they always look good and their shoes are shined, and Leos have white teeth. So, if self-respect is lacking, the individual will have the ability to cultivate it in his life, right? If they don't, if people dump on this guy too much, remember south node bad, too much giving into the group, and if people are constantly dumping on this guy, they can stand up and shine. It's north node and Leo can shine. The south node in Aquarius shows past habits have been to retreat from the world because of snobbiness or distaste. Strong egocentric tendencies have to be overcome. Okay, Martin Shulman. This guy goes on and on and on and on forever. He writes a freaking essay here. The Leo north node symbolizes a struggle with the will. In this incarnation, the individual is learning to develop strength from within himself. Right, north node, what you're learning to do. South node is what you bring with you. North node is what you're trying to achieve. Conditions force him to stand alone, very often with the absence of shoulders to lean on. He eventually learns that if his life is to be better, it must be created by himself. But before he can build any such creations, he must overcome his lackadaisical, carefree, lazy as fuck Leo attitude. I added that last part. He still continues a past life tendency to spend too much time feeling sorry for himself at his lack of friends when he feels they are needed most. All right. Somehow in moments of stress, others always seem to be absent. Right? South node is where bad shit happens. It's in Aquarius. When you need your peeps, they're not there. Long periods of now, like this is also, he's talking about the 11th house, right? Just because it's Aquarius doesn't necessarily mean it's your friends. It means being humanistic. Humanistic? What's humanistic? Like 5 fingers? Like, all right. Anyways, just want to say that he's confusing a little bit, or he's blending the sign and the house. All right. Long periods of loneliness, isolation, and in many cases a good part of time spent as a hermit are not uncommon. Ultimately, when the mind is made up, there is little that can sway this individual from his destiny. He must learn that his isolation is a self-imposed prerequisite for gathering strength. Very capable of strong leadership in this life, he must learn to overcome all doubts within the self. The continuance of his past life desires for friendship, South Node in Aquarius, past life desires for friendship, actually weaken him, as they do little to build his individual confidence. He must learn how to become a more goal-oriented rather than following his accustomed tendency to dissipate his energies. The interesting thing is that while he continues to think he needs others to answer his questions, he rarely takes their advice. The friends that he does have will be from all walks of life. In a sense, this increases his scope, for they bring to him now the awareness that he's earned in former incarnations. Once determination takes root, there's no stopping the path towards success, for he does not like to settle for second best, obviously. Much thought is given to the future. In fact, he's used to living there until one day he makes the realization that today is yesterday's blah, 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 blah. He is not the easiest of people to understand, for he'll do anything to retain and emphasize his own sense of individuality. In past incarnations, he developed a detachment from the majority of the world, allowing him to feel free to go his own way. Now he takes pride in being unique and different, caring not as much for the traditions of society as for whatever rules he set up for himself, right? This guy is definitely rebellious. He just does his own thing. His main difficulty in this life is a lack of control. Without discipline, he can generate his power into useless projects until he realizes that nobody will stand over him with a whip. If he builds on past life knowledge, he has a great ability to do something for the human race, for he's capable of depersonalizing his actions for the good of all mankind. We talked about this earlier. They can be aloof. What he's talking about is he's putting together the North Node and the South Node right now. Alright, building on past life knowledge, South Node's past lives, he has the great ability to do something for the human race, Aquarius, for he's capable of depersonalizing, Aquarius, his actions for the good of all mankind. With these nodes, many with these nodes, live rags to riches life, you know, moving towards Leo. Leo's a sign, one of the signs of success. The big change coming after the tendency to overlook is turned into an ability to oversee. Got that? Overlook to oversee. To part of the crowd that doesn't give a shit about anyone else, to the Leo who takes care of the kingdom. The greatest amazement occurs when they discover prior life talents in themselves that they never thought they had. Happiness is reached once principles to which to dedicate the life are found. Furthermore, these principles must be unshaken so that the individual feels he is creating something solid. He will then identify his life in terms of the size of the principles to which he has attached himself. Disturbed by the scattered activities of others, right, which remind him of his own past incarnations, he feels a strong need to see life moving along a directed course towards a specified goal. Still, he wants to retain his complete independence. As a result, he finds it difficult to tolerate others cramping his style. When they do, they will find him constantly testing the limits. He will tell you to fuck off. The Aquarius South Node brings with it past life roots, strongly embedded in the principles of fairness and equality. Aqua's just like want to have a good time, man. In the current life, the individual is given the opportunity to be on his own, so that unhampered by others, he may express his intrinsic beliefs. His job now is to show people as flamboyantly or as powerfully as he may choose the ways in which the world can overcome its burdens. His greatest achievements occur after he has surrendered his personal will to the service of humanity. There is no question but that this is a good leadership. This is good leadership material so long as the imagined past life Aquarian sense of fairness is never violated. This is a man of principles. You know, Aquarians are naturally Aquarians. For those who don't know, I did a study of astrology and leadership a while ago, and there's probably video in the archive of TheSunnySide.net. Just check it out. And it said, you know, because of when Aquarians are born, this is Western astrology, not that sidereal stupidness where like Aquarius is suddenly going to be born in the fucking summer in a couple of thousand years, or like, you know. So, but based on Western astrology here, Aquarians are born at a time of year where at school they're usually the big kids. You know, they're taller than other kids, they're born earlier, you know, and so they're from a young age, Aquarians are put into a position of leadership, and it's quite normal to find Aquarians as leaders on sports teams later on in life, or Aquarians, so they're taught at a young age leadership qualities, and it becomes part of them because at a young age, Aquarians tend to be bigger kids, and Aquarians tend to be placed in positions of leadership at a very young age. On the other side of things, Leos have a very courageous streak, and Leos also demand the attention for their accomplishments. So Leos make good leadership too. These guys make great leaders. There's no question, blah, 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 blah. And they have principles. This individual is capable of making revolutionary changes in what was once established tradition. He is first, last, and always amazed and fascinated by all the possibilities man can reach. At the same time, he's offended when he sees people pitying their self-imposed limitations. Oh yeah, for well he knows the experience of pulling oneself by one's own bootstraps. He aspires to stand tall and not be ridiculed for those beliefs which he has struggled so hard to express. While his capabilities for love run deep, the rest of him is not too far below the surface. The continuation of his past life attractions to momentary fascinations keep throwing him off track, making it difficult for him now to see the core of his true self clearly. Right, it's the struggle between personal identity and associating with the group. As so, he must identify with his achievements as the only real barometer of his worth. Which is okay, because Leo achieves a lot. Though he may at times strongly wish to be alone, he can never live without people, for he thrives on their admiration of his achievements. He believes in firm justice, and yet he's quick to pardon once people have admitted they are wrong. He is never one to strike when a person is down. The sense of fair play has become such a part of his soul that although he feels he should be more competitive, it makes him uncomfortable to be part of any competition which involves foul play. Things which wouldn't have bothered him in past incarnations suddenly become important as he starts to dig into life rather than disassociate from it. Although it's in his present life karma to apply his Uranian ingenuity through practical and traditional Leonian outlets, he struggles to maintain his unique character. Blah, 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 blah. It's a good thing this guy's not a computer scientist. Computer programmer. He talking language nobody fucking understands. Some with this position spend the later years of their life alone. Others who are married still hold on to such a strong streak of independence that they tend to keep other family members on a periphery of their circle. Well, you know what happens with this dude is Aquarian is like for everybody. You know, Aquarians like to date their friends, and Leos like to be the center of attention. Imagine that a guy who has their south node in Leo and their north node, or their south node in Aquarius and their north node in Leo. This is the guy who's like dreams of going to orgies all the time. This is this is Dr. Group Sex, you know, like this is what he always wants to do, and it can fuck up his relationships pretty easily. All right, next, Mohan Kapoor. Mohan says, previous incarnations for this person was spent in many unusual activities. Aquarius, right? He seldom has time to be individualistic. Most of his efforts were towards achieving things for others. In this time, he has decided to be substantially individualistic. Making his own name or getting the credit for his work is significant in this lifetime. Cultivation of personality, ego, and general magnetism are noticed in this person. He will use his powers and connections to get where he wants to go in life. He may have to step on others, but he will look at that as a favor to them. It's really funny. And later on, when he's up there, he will help those who were helpful to Will. He really will help those. Strong self-conditioning and self-confidence is noticed. All right, Donna Van Toen says, is this the Donna Van Toen, the last one? This one, no, there are a couple more here. All right, I deleted a whole bunch because some of these guys just talk bullshit. All right, Donna Van Toen says, you need to learn to love deeply. Okay, that's Leo. But the Aquarius South Node may reply, who, me? What do you mean? I love everybody. And so, All right, whatever. It says your problems may include that you're looking for a utopia. Interesting. Your ideals have frustrated your needs for love and companionship. Possible reasons for these problems: you're inclined to be lazy about developing your creativity, preferring to idealize others' accomplishments at the expense of your own. You spend most of your time serving others, and that's causing at the expense of fulfilling your own goals. Traumatic experiences have caused you to retreat from the world to some extent. Ingrained stubbornness hinders the formation of relationships, and you have a subconscious superiority complex. All right. The North Node in Leo almost always has some degree of untapped creativity. Sometimes shyness keeps it untapped. The shyness is in itself a manifestation of the untapped Leo North Node potentials, since Leo is the sign of confidence. South Node in Aquarius encourages the individual to lose himself, all right, in a whirl of friendships and acquaintance making, or in some vast utopian ideal. In either case, utopian is like, I believe the world should be awesome like this. A utopia is like your perfect world. That's what a utopian world is. And this guy's saying they're trying to create the perfect world. In either case, the motivation is to avoid having to come to terms with his or her own individuality. These people are seldom recognized as shy because their shyness manifests manifests on a personal rather than public level. Another manifestation of Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node, the imbalance, all right, is seen in the person who leaves more creativeness untapped while he or she searches for the great talent that will make a contribution to the world. What? This person isn't content to enjoy developing his or her creativity unless he or she can make a great artistic, dramatic, or social contribution to posterity. In other words, they're not going to do it unless it's loud and proud. Makes sense? Makes sense. It's Leo. They're not going to do anything unless it's loud and proud. In my experience, people with an overdeveloped Aquarius South Node are generally kept busy dealing with other people's problems, wanting to be in the spotlight, but they often wind their contributions it gets obscured. It becomes egotistical in a way, unusual way. They emphasize equality and refuse to acknowledge that some people have more potential than others. In other words, you can't do any more than they can. Intellectual at the expense of their emotions. This is interesting. Let's read this one again. They emphasize equality, and refuse to acknowledge that some people have more potential than others. In other words, you can't do any more than they can. Intellectual at the expense of their emotions, spiteful, fond of shocking others, extremist in their work for change. They're contradictory in that the brain doesn't know what the heart wants. They're adverse to traditional marriage. Women are often militantly liberated to the point where they resent or dislike men in general and inclined to believe everything you tell them about themselves as long as it's flattering. Sincerely, man. These guys are commies. These guys are commies, and they're militant lesbians. All right? Just saying, they're commies and they're militant. All right. But they're not always like that. It's not. They're just revolutionary in their ways. So if they grew up in a communist world or a repressed world, they would change that, and they would, it's different. Anyways, North Node in Leo would like to be seen as someone with a tremendous amount of vitality, which is good because they are. He or she wants to be known as someone who's attained creative or business success. He or she may aspire to be a famous movie star or politician, or may want to be known for his or her lovely home or lavish parties. This is all the same person, right? Keep this in mind. He or she wants to be respected and able to impress others. This person is social and capable of expressing emotions, albeit in a rather detached way. He or she may have some rather funny loyalties or misconceptions of loyalties, like fucked up relationships. This may serve to prevent success, as the person is inclined to be afraid that his success might inconvenience or be unfair to others. This preoccupation with the good of the group, as opposed to his or her own good, can lead to unpredictable behavior that brings more controversy than respect. Do you see what's so screwy about this? The South Node wants equality. South Node in Aquarius, equality, and we're all the same. But and fuck you. This is the way it is, bitch. But the North Node in Leo it craves individuality, and it craves to be the center of attention, and it craves to be respected for its achievements. So it's just a juxtaposition here, and it's in both of those sides are in this person. Hayden Paul says, for personal growth, you need to drink lots of milk and eat spinach. What? No, I just... Okay. For personal growth, you need to determine clearly your life direction and then focus and apply willpower to achieve objectives. Yeah, Leo's a willful sign. This can be a challenge as you tend to dissipate energies in different directions, partly due to a lack of future planning. You need to realize that you shape your future experiences through the consequences of thoughts, actions, values, and attitudes. What you do today creates your tomorrow, and a favorable future depends on choices and decisions in the present. If choices are misguided, you will face the inevitable disappointing consequences of later. All right, well, that has to do with everybody. All right, so this guy is starting off on the bullshit train. That has to do with everybody, wherever your nodes are. Now, here we go. Let's see if he breaks it down into gets back on topic here. To achieve this new life direction, you have to become more individual, breaking free from the consensual social conditioning indicated by the Aquarius South Node. Yes, this does not imply that you become eccentric or socially alienated, but rather you become more self-restrained and independent, true to your own light and taking responsibility for your choices in life. Positive. Now, this is an interesting thing. Now, think about it. The more you move towards the Leo, the more North Node as you move towards, the more you're going to have some bullshit happen in your South Node, which was with the group. So the more you hang out in your Aquarius, we, it's at the expense of me. And the more you go to me, the more you shine. You're going to piss off the peeps. And you got to make a balance of this. And that's where leadership comes into play. And so if you can work this effectively, you're going to be a spectacular leader. If you fuck it up, they're going to revolt against you. This guy said anything interesting? Yet, this is not a search for a self-centered path. It is one which combines independent self-expression with awareness of social relationship and interdependence. Your proposed growth should ideally benefit all as well as yourself. Building a personal value structure is important, and you'll try to stay true to those guiding life principles which provide a firmer inner foundation. You have a new creative direction. Your new creative direction can be effectively released in the sphere of life, indicated by the North Node's house. And as your new worldview develops, you may feel inspired to share your belief more widely. Your humanistic concerns will dampen as feelings of social responsibility and contribution expand. Your growing idealism and altruistic spirit will shine more clearly, reshaping life by your ideals, so that, by pursuing your path, you also contribute to benefit others. You have to be, gracious in victory. All they're saying is be gracious in victory. Try not to be overbearing or pompous. But I don't think that's the problem. You have to, so right now, if it's a negatively affected one, it's going to negatively affect the other. And so whether you have too much Aquarius, we, or you go too much Leo, me, you're going to suffer in both areas. What you have to do is move towards the Leo of me, shine for yourself, but at the same time be gracious and try not to embody or to take on or personify or act like the negative side of the me, Leo stuff. So in other words, it's important to shine, because when you shine, the whole group looks good. And when you shine, everybody shines. But if you make sure that you don't shine at the expense of others, because then the group is going to tar and feather your fucking selfish ass, and then you're going to back to square one, you'll get reincarnated, and you'll come back as a fucking rock, and you'll have to think about it for 1,000 years. That's what you're going to do. And so just be careful. The main issue concerns individual and group growth. and may focus on social needs for fairness and equality. Once a direction is established, you may emerge as an inspirational leader, aiming to create constructive change within traditional social practices and thought. Such activity may prompt mixed reactions from others, obviously, especially as progressive attitudes may be before their time and difficult to be integrated by contemporary society. But your independent spirit must be retained so that your transformation and new socially creative expressions indicate a way that society can also take. Right, you're going to shine and the world is going to shine around you. For yourself, purposefully your directed energies, if you put them in creative and productive ways, it will bring satisfaction. But you should never forget the existence and needs of others. Be true to them also, because by living your humanitarian ideals, your path is formed. And that's the deal, guys. So that's the deal. So that's South Node in Aquarius, North Node in Leo. That's too much Aquarius energy, resulting in, if there's too much, you get abused by others, you get fucked up relationships, you refuse to take responsibility for your actions, you want everybody to be exactly the same. But at the same time, all of that, you have the North Node in Leo, which is a desire to shine, which is a desire to take the ball and run with it, which is a desire to take chances on yourself, which is to seize the opportunity. It's to be courageous, it's to shine, it's to be beautiful in a very benevolent and graceful way. And that's the deal. If you can swing the action in your favor and then make it good for the team, then that's wonderful. There's no sense in this. So there's no sense in being a Leo and scoring a whole bunch of goals and being the best person on the team, or being a prima donna and have your team lose. That's the problem in this situation. Or not, having the confidence to rise above everyone else's situation. The goal is to shine and to bring the team along with you. And if you can do that, you're gonna come back as a butterfly, motherfucker. I mean, you're gonna ascend to the next level in your spiritual awakening. And that's the action. Once again, please support the channel. Please visit theastroside.com and pick up a super cool mug here. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share the video. Pick up this super awesome Leo mug, some cool SunnySide gear here. And just chill out and be cool. And that's the action. Please support the channel. Please give the video a bloop, bloop, thumbs up. And that's the action. From TheSunnySide.net, I'm Sunny, wishing everyone, all North Nodes in Leos and all South Nodes Aquarius, wishing everyone the absolute best of a super beautiful day. And I'll see you guys soon.